Here is the answers to placing decimals on the front. You just had to count the decimal places in both factors and put the same number of decimal places in this answer. You didn't actually have to multiply it out. They gave you the answer. All that was missing was the decimal place. So you might want to pause the video so that you can check yours and make sure you got the right decimal place in the right order. And then I'm going to scroll this down so you can see the last couple. And you might need to pause the video again to see the last couple. So the first one, we're going to rewrite 5,228. We're going to ignore the decimal to begin with, times 558. 558. Zoom in some here. Alright, so we're going to multiply just like whole numbers. We're ignoring the decimal completely. So 8 times 8 is 64. Put down an 8, 4, carry our 6. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 6 more is 22. 22. 8 times 2 is 16, 17, 18. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 1 more is 41. We put down a 0 for our placeholder when we scoot over to our tens digit. 5 times 8 is 40. 40. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 more is 14. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 more is 26. I use 2 zeros because I'm in my hundreds place. 2 zeros. Now I'm going to multiply a 5 by everything on top again. Well, I just did this. So we're going to work smarter, not harder. I know in this first one I had 1 placeholder and now I have 2 placeholders. So 5 times 8 was 40, that's where that 0 came from. Then 4, 1, 6, and a 2, and I wrote over my other problem, but that's okay. So we have 3 partial products and we're going to add them together. That's 4, 2, 12, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 and 4 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2. Now, we are not done. We must go back and add our decimal. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decimal places. So I'm going to go to my answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decimal places. And I'm going to put a decimal. Alright, now on number 2, 3.2 is out on the top. But if I put 3.2, oops, we're gonna pretend that's 32 because we're gonna ignore the decimals. If I put that on the top and then 2,349 on the bottom, I would have 4 partial products. So you are allowed to put those in the other order. 2,349 times 32. That way you'll only have 2 partial products and it will save you some work. Alright, 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. We scoot over to our tens place, so we put a 0. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 more is 14. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. We're going to add our partial products. 8, 16, 11, 5, 7. We are not done. We go back and we count our decimal places. We have 1 decimal place, so we have 1 decimal place. This was number 2, because we always label our scratch work. Alright, going on to number 3. Number 3, we have 345 times 32 because we're going to ignore the decimal. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. We scoot over to our tens place, so we put a 0. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. We add our partial products. That's 0, 14, 10, 1, and 1. We are not finished. We go back and count our decimal places. 1. We put the same number of decimal places in our answer. 1. So we actually, that 0 doesn't matter. When we wrote our answer, we could leave this off and it would be 1,104. Or it would be 1,104 and 0 tenths. Let's look at number 4. Number 4, we're going to count that as 884 because we're going to ignore the decimal, 884. We're going to count that as 16 because we're going to ignore the decimal. Now we're going to multiply like normal. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 2 is 50. 6 times 8 is 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. We scoot over to our tens place, so we put a 0 as a placeholder. 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 8 is 8, and 1 times 8 is 8. So this is 4, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 14. We are not finished. We go back to the problem and we count our decimals. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to put a decimal place in when you're multiplying decimal numbers. Number 5. We're going to use 8,768 times 978 because we're going to ignore the decimals. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 6 is 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 5 more is 61. 8 times 8 is 64, plus 6 more is 70. We scoot over to our tens digit, so we put a 0. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 5 more is 47. 7 times 7 is 49, plus 4 more is 53. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 5 more is 60. 56, 61. We scoot over to our hundreds place, so we have to put 2 zeros. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 6 is 54, 61. 9 times 7 is 63, 69. 9 times 8 is 72, so that is 78. We have 3 partial products because we have a 3-digit number on the bottom, so we're going to add all 3 partial products. 4, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 3, 4, 5, 10, 17, 8, 9, 15, 7 and 1 is 8. We are not finished. We go back to our problem and we count the decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go to our product and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, number 6. Since this 7 is on top, but it's a smaller number, I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to put 6,259 on top. We're going to multiply it by 7, even though that says 7 tenths, we're going to multiply it by 7 because we're going to ignore the decimals. 7 times 9 is 63. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 6 more is 41. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 4 more is 18. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 1 more is 43. We are not finished. We go back to our problem. We count the decimal places. 1. We go to our product, and we put the same number of decimal places. 1. Number 7, we're going to use 872 because we're going to ignore the decimal, times 92 because we are ignoring the decimal. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 7 is 14, 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 more is 17. We scoot over to our tens place, so we put a 0 as a placeholder. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 7 is 63, plus 1 more is 64. 9 times 8 is 72, plus 6 more is 78. We add our partial products. 4, 12, 8, 12, 8, 9, 10, and 8. We are not finished. We go back to our factors. We count how many decimal places are in our factors. 1, 2, 3. We go to our product and we put the same number of decimal places. 1, 2, 3. Number 8. 5,961 times 99, because we're going to ignore the decimal places. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 9 is 81, plus 5 more is 86. 9 times 5 is 45. 53. We scoot over to our tens digit, so we put a 0 for a placeholder. Now, I'm going to work smarter, not harder. I've already multiplied 9 times everything on top. Now I'm multiplying 90 by everything on top. I've already got my 0 down. The rest of my digits are going to be the same. 9, 4, 6, 3, 5. Same numbers, except this one has a 0 at the end because it's 90, because it's in the tens place, not in the ones place. We have our partial products. We're going to add them. 9, 13, 11, 10, 8, 9, and 5. We are not finished. We need to go back to our factors, count the decimal places. 1. Go to our product, put the same number of decimal places. 1. So you are going to do 9 through 16 by yourself. So I want you to pause the video and work out 9 through 16. Then you may come back to the video after you've worked them out and you can check your answers. I will not be showing all of my work on 9 through 16. I will just be showing you the answer. So if you got the answer wrong when you check it, you need to go back to the problem that you worked out and work it out again until you get Ms. Bridges' answer. You don't need to just write down her answer. You need to work it out until you get that answer. Find your own mistake. So here are the answers to 9 through 12. You may need to pause the video so that you can see those. Remember, if you got the answer wrong, you're not just going to erase it and change your answer. You're going to work the problem out again to make sure you know how to get the answer. I'm going to scroll up so you can see 13 through 16. So again, you might want to pause the video so you can get those down. If you're having a lot of trouble and you're getting a lot of these wrong, then you need to shoot me an email and tell me, Ms. Bridges, I'm getting these wrong. I don't know what's going on. I need help.